Go get your flute, they said, and play, and we will make the sound. Go get your flute, they said, and play, and we will make the sound. The winds and I, we played a tune for all the world to hear. My heart grew soft, my soul spread out to mountain flowers tree. Far and near.
Hello. Hello, Wind Clan, and all the other people out there who are going to watch us and gather with us, and all of those people who are going to be doing their prayers at other times, and for all the people who are going to receive these prayers. When we call for a ceremony, it's always really, it always directs you. It directs the way, it directs the energy, it directs the wave of the wind, and it reminds us that we're part of this bigger web, we're part of this bigger cycle, we're part of the wind, we are of the wind, we return to the wind. And today our ceremony is for the children. You know, it started for Lily Rose, who was one of our youngest wind whistlers, and she was one of the first people to get, you know, a children's wind whistle, and grew with great excitement about this. But then over the course of the week, I started to look at, okay, what is the child in us that needs healing? You know, what about the stunted child, the one that's shut down at 14 when they were assaulted or something happened in their life that made them disappointment and they got stuck there? The little one whose parents have been separated and they're longing for that other parent, or the abused child, or all of the children suffering from addiction. And one of the things that I've been learning lately is that loneliness and depression in women over 50 is one of the most prevalent things going on right now in the world, and in the next 2 years it's going to get worse. So here we think we're getting so connected in this this web, this Facebook illusion of like connectedness, and yes, it brings us closer, but we still need to gather in person. And I see that Kathleen McKinley's here and Heather's here, and these are women who are holding sacred circles where they live. And if somebody else is there, give it a heart so people can see that you hold sacred ongoing circles in your community. And it's important. It's important now more than ever that we join together, as women, as sisters. If there's some men, you know, men too. I don't mean to exclude you out, but right now we're talking about our children. And you know, the Divine Mother, the Virgin of Guadalupe, wanted to be on the altar today. And sometimes I get criticized for being a shaman and having these other characters on my altar, like you know, removing obstacles, and that's just the way it goes in my world. It's everything, and I listen. So today we're going to do a ceremony for the children, and what that's going to look like is, first I want to talk about how prayer works and how to best give other people prayers, okay? Because this is a really important subject. In the Wind Clan, I really want people to be supportive of each other. I want people to be able to share what's really, really in their heart. And I want others to bear witness to that. It's really important that we bear witness to other people without thinking as women, we want to fix them, we want to help them. We have a really hard time looking at other people's pain and suffering. And so we always want to get in there and, give our best advice. Well, that's not how prayer works. Because if that was how prayer worked, then we'd wonder why a little wind whistler who had a lot of faith and a lot of excitement in her life about running and swimming every day and playing on the trampoline and doing all of those things, if prayer works that way, why would all of a sudden a bone get disconnected? Well, of course, you know me, I was going to call to the wind to find out which wind, and any of you who've been following the wind work for a while will know right away that the wind that came is Yeongdong Halmang, and she's been coming for an entire week, and this is about balance and about moderating our actions. And what does that mean when we're out of balance in the world? Well, one of the things for young adults, that the use of plastic, the use of microwaves, it has actually speeded up the growth and development of our young women. Specifically, they know that it's hormones are developing faster than ever. It's causing abnormal bone development. It's causing early menstruation. It's causing all of these hormonal things. So as parents, we're trying to do the best and do all of these things, and yet still the world can be out of balance. And I'm not, no blame here, but it's just a matter of Yeongdong Halmang. These winds are about global issues. They want us to heal, and they're going to provide that power, that invisible energy, that source of all nature to help us do that. And today what we're specifically going to do is we're going to do a prayer for all of the children, the inner child within us, the prayers for that are specifically going out to Lily Rose. I have another little girl in the East Coast who's missing her dad. Clients I work with who get stuck in their age patterns. All of us get stuck in our age patterns. I mean, if anyone knows about an regress state, you can go back to 12, 14, 16 easily. So we're going to do a prayer for ourselves today. And what that means is we're not going to offer suggestions for anyone else. We're going to do a deeper dive inside of ourselves to see what that little person in us needs. And how we're going to do it is we're going to do a wind whistling first to set us our attention. I've already opened sacred space. And then we're going to take a journey to the healed self, and stick with us for this. So first we're going to do the wind whistling, where we're going to actually call in Yeongdong Halmang to balance us, to balance our whatever age we're at now with the smallest part of ourselves that needs healing and needs help. And then we're going to actually take a journey to the upper world to explore that healed part of ourselves, to see what that part looks like. And that's about you. The group energy and all the people who are praying who aren't live on this call are going to send prayers into this mix. So we don't know how this healing is going to happen for us, or it might come later in a dream. You might get a vision. You might hear something. You might know something. And you might even get a vision for Heather and for her daughter. And what I'm going to invite people to do is share that privately, and not in the form of, hey, I got this idea that you should do. Hey, I got this vision. Because the vision's always for us, and it's always in our own symbolism. So what we want to do is talk about the vision. And we can do that on the Wind Clan wall. Hey, this is the vision I got. One thing I'd like to always remind people of is that keep that vision sacred. Whether it's for 4 hours a day, a vision is a sacred communication between you and spirit. And nothing that distills a vision quicker is than to share it before the the seeds planted and the visions really ready to go. All right. Are there any questions before we start, or are we pretty clear? We're going to whistle in to Yangdang Haomang, and for those of you who don't know, she's the a wind about balance, and when you call to this wind goddess when you seek order and balance, summon her for rituals and a bountiful harvest. So we're calling her in today for a ritual. Okay, let me just see if my notes, because over the week I was making little notes. Oh, it's very important. We never can claim to know what somebody else's healing journey is about. That's like paramount to all of the work, the foundation of all of the work that we do. Because when we do, and the winds told me this on a walk the other night, we are self-seeking for power. Isn't that an interesting twist? We're self-seeking for power. You know, because we're assuming that we know greater than the sources that empower us, that we have the answers, and we never really have the answers for somebody else. We might get the answers for ourselves, we might get a vision for somebody else, but we want to use power in a way that's invited, in a way that's, you know, directed towards, today we're just directing it towards healing of the inner child, the inner healing for all of us, and, you know, hopefully sending a few extra prayers for Lily Rose here. And let's see, and remember that what do you call it? Resistance. You know, resistance is the format where you can start to heal, because it's only through resistances, it's through illnesses, loss, heartbreak, suffering, that gives you the place where you need to look deeper in yourself. And then if you're thinking about in a sailboat, you take that resistance to tack against the wind. And it's only when we start to really tack with the resistance that the sail can move full force and actually moves even faster than the wind. So we're working with this resistance. Let's see, which wind whistle wants to do? So we're going to start with the ceremony part. So first what we're going to do is we're going to call to Yangdang Haomang 3 times. The first time, we're going to really connect ourselves to the belly of the earth. We're going to bring ourselves deeply rooted into the earth for healing today. This is very specific. We're healing the inner child. So we're going to ask to get rooted to that inner child self of ours. The second one, we're going to call in the energy of Yangdang to give us the needed wind energy to take us on this journey to our healed self. And then we're going to actually, since there's so many people who are going to be listening to this, and there's several people live and other people doing it at other times, we're going to actually put ourselves in an energy popo, an energy bubble. So this is going to be the energy bubble that you travel into the upper world. All right, so as soon as I'm going to go directly from the wind whistling right into the rattling, and I'll guide you up to the upper world where we're going to look for this part of our healed self. Everyone with me? Let's see. Got some watchers. All right. So, wind whistlers. Let's all whistle together. And if you don't have a wind whistle yet, you can. I'm not very good at it. Wish we had some of those better whistlers here. Maybe we do. And so first, let's call to Yangdang. And look down at your feet and see if those rooted feet are your younger feet. How are those feet that you're looking at? Because remember, we're connecting to our inner child selves. And in the next one, we're going to call in Yangdang to help guide us on this journey to the healed self. And with this next wind whistle, shed anything you don't want to take along on this journey that you might not need. And as we're going to take this journey, we're going to put an energy popo around us, and the wind is going to actually carry us up to the upper world through this guided visualization. As I'm whistling, I'm inside because it's 110 outside, but over in the window, the bird feeder's going like this, the winds are whipping, and I don't know if anyone else is having that same experience, but the winds have kicked up since we started. So feel that energy, Popo, that womb-like energy around you. And if your eyes aren't closed, please close your eyes now. And find yourself in that energy bubble floating. Floating. First we're floating horizontal along the Earth's plane. And then as that wind kicks up, that wind of balance, that wind of harmony that we've invited in Yangdong Halman, we're going to ask her to take us up into the air, up into the ethers, up past the rain clouds. Oh, she's taking us out along the galaxy, out along the Milky Way. Your light, you may have even become younger in your energy bubble. Just trust whatever you're feeling, whatever you're seeing, whatever you're hearing, what you know. Trust this. And we're moving up and out. We're following out beyond. We're seeing the galaxies. We can look back at the Earth. It's become very small. Floating up and out. And all of a sudden, out there in the distance, you see a magical playland. It's reminding me of the old Candyland board. Never know what's going to come. Yours might look way different. Go in for a soft landing. And as you land, we're going to be greeted by all of the children. All of the children that are in this magical place, who remember how to play, who know how to do ring around the posy, who play hide and seek, who remember all of those games that we would play as children. It's very playful here. It's very colorful. There's all kinds of singing and dancing and skip roping and all these magical fun things happening. And your vision may look totally different. I'm just sharing what I see. And you're going to step outside of that energy bubble. But remember where it is, because we're going to come back in that same format. Because you feel absolutely 100% safe here. And the first thing you might want to do when you're here is just take a second to think back. What was your favorite game? What was your favorite thing to do? How did you play? Did you splash around in the pool? What was it? And find the group of children doing that activity. And join them. You've always been welcome. You've always been able to play. I'm reminded that one of my activities was with my cat, and it still is. And now fast forward a little bit. When did you lose that joy of that activity? What happened? Did you break a bone? Did a parent move away? Did you move from the friend you love? Did someone exclude you from the group? See that hurt. See that childlike hurt. Whatever that is, let's take it and find a sacred hiding spot for it up here in this land of the children, this land of the who you're becoming. And we're going to put it there for safekeeping. And then you're going to go back out and you're going to rejoin the children, but see if you feel lighter, if something shifted, if you feel more in balance. And then thank these children for this great memory of how it is to play, how it is to dance, how it is to swim. And then we're going to get back into our energy bubbles. And with that healed self, that part that we've left, that part that we no longer need, we're going to go and see what it is we look like from this healed place. So we're going to get back in this energy bubble and we're going to float up even higher. Young Dong Haman is going to balance the ages from our youngest self to the place we are now, the healed self, or the healed self of who we're becoming. So we're going to go up even further. And we're going to land at a place of magical dreams, the places of becoming. And we're going to get back out from our energy popo. And now we're going to be greeted by the healed self. This healed aspect of ourself that might be shimmering in gold or silver or translucent multicolored rainbow. Ask her, ask them, ask him. What is it that I need to know in this moment, in this becoming, that I continue on this journey towards my healed self? And wait, you might hear it, you might feel it, you might know it, you might just think about it. It might come later in a dream. And as you get that wisdom from your healed self, Ask for a gift. Ask for something that you can bring back with you that will remind you that you're healed, that the healing has already happened, that the prayers that we've sent out for the healing for others have been heard. And take this gift and put it somewhere for safekeeping, maybe in your heart, maybe in your solar plexus, or in your womb, or in your third eye. Oh, for the throat, for something that you have to remember to talk to yourself nicer, to be more gentle. Maybe it's a song. And then thank that healed self, the self of the becoming. And we're going to get back in our energy popo, our energy ride, our energy bubble. And we're going to start with the help of Yangdong Haman, balancing the healing. The healing is going to continue as you softly head back towards home. Back along the Milky Way. Down through the clouds. Back towards the Earth's surface. We're going to go back horizontally. And we're going to come back to that place where we were. But before we get out from that energy bubble, ask, is there any more healing that I need? This wind power that I can have right now. And we're going to use that wind to clear away the energy bubble and come back into the room or come back to your space. Remember, prayers for the children, prayers for the inner child within you, prayers for Lily Rose, and for all of your children. I would suggest maybe taking time to write down what you experienced on your journey, especially the gifts, and just fully describe what that healed self looked like. All of you have held such a powerful, powerful circle. I was there, and hopefully you were all there too, and it was really magical and magnificent, and I believe we just sent out some healing energy to the children today, and these winds that whipped up. This is a really great power that we have at our disposal all the time, even when there's no wind, to use, to invite these winds, to call upon them. And this reminder of the importance of community and connection. If loneliness and separation is the current plague, I don't believe the wind, the current plague of our times, then we overcome that by stepping out from our comfort zone, showing up for circles, making an extra point to go when there's a live event. And in live events, I'll just say, my little commercial plug, that I'm going to be on the East Coast New England and Pennsylvania on the 17th, Saratoga Springs on the 18th, Maine that following week on the 23rd, and then I'm going to be at Omega for a week. And imagine if we can do this live here, what we can do in person for with this wind work. I'm so honored by all of your participation in this group and for your willingness to show up for when somebody else is in need and somebody else needs healing. And we need to keep doing this. Prayer works. Prayer works in reverse. Prayer doesn't know time. You could, if you're watching this later, trust me, you can connect back into the energy of this group tomorrow, next week, next year, and healing happens in reverse. So if you happen to stumble upon this a year or 2 years from now, play your wind whistle. You know, put your prayers in because it goes backwards. It goes forwards. So that the children we prayed for today, 2 years from now, you can add your prayers and they're going to get the benefit of it now. So I'm Renee. I'm the practical shaman, in case you don't know who I am. And I'm a wind whistler and keeper of the wind clan with all of you holding space. So thank you very much for this awesome, awesome prayer ceremony. Sami says thank you.